Precedence Page by Paul Mims. This issue's Precedence Page includes 2 accompanying photos. The first image is the usual head and shoulders thumbnail picture of the author of this section. Paul Mims is viewed here dressed in formal business attire with a light-colored shirt, tie, and dark suit coat. He is also wearing a BVA service cap. The lanyard from his convention name badge is visible as well. The background of the photo is BVA's Step and Repeat banner containing the scattered images of the organization's logo, seal, and website URL, bva.org. There is no photo caption. The second of the 2 photos also includes Paul in formal business attire, including the garrison cap. Standing with him in the picture to his right, similarly dressed, with a white cane and holding a microphone, is another gentleman shorter in stature than Paul. Seen in the distant background are 4 flags immediately in front of a white wall. The caption reads, "Joe McNeil formally bestows BVA presidential mantle on newly elected Paul Mims." The text of the president's page begins as follows. During the 37 years I've been a member of BVA, I have seen several changes. A few years ago, I unsuccessfully ran for an office, and the first statement in my candidate speech was that BVA needed change. At this point in time and space, change is still needed. I don't pretend to believe that I am the only one who knows what changes need to be made, but I do know that I now have the job of leader of the force that will bring about those changes, if indeed those changes are the will of our membership and other leaders. It is a foregone conclusion that there is no such thing as a perfect organization. Of course, BVA is nowhere near a perfect organization either. Organizations are always going through stages of change, evolution, and what their members hope will be improvement. Most of those changes for organizations take place because of the environment in which the organization exists. One observation I have made is that the nature of the environment in which BVA now exists necessitates a multifaceted change. I have believed for years that the BVA leadership would benefit from trying to place more emphasis on the abilities of the membership, their input, and their knowledge, skills, and abilities. I intend to put that into practice as often as I can during my tenure. Just as the organization is not perfect, I don't intend to try to be a perfect president. I will simply do the best I can with the knowledge, skills, abilities, talents, and experience that I can bring to bear. Some things have already happened that have assured us that this is a time for change, whether we initiate the change or whether we simply respond to certain realities that, out of necessity, force us to change. One of those realities relates to our national conventions. Simply put, the nature of the economy is such that we will not be able to continue holding conventions in the same manner. They are too expensive with the numbers of attendees we have. The primary reason for that is because it has become too expensive for us to put on a convention at a high-quality hotel property, even with the generous sponsors we have had the past couple of years. This is further exacerbated by the rise in airline fares just to get to the convention, food prices in general, and skyrocketing rates for guest rooms. Another change that is happening within our organization is, quite frankly, a decline in the dynamics that help regional groups survive. There was a period during which our recruitment efforts didn't produce much, and the prospective members whom we were seeking did not feel compelled to join. I don't think we, however we define we in this context, need to take the blame for veterans not wanting to join. Nevertheless, we may have among us the ability to make the organization look more attractive to prospective members, as well as to the members we already have. As we move forward, we need to continually monitor our financial outlook. One thing that we began to realize during the worldwide pandemic, even more forcefully than before, is that direct mail is not yielding the results it once did. Many past and prospective donors are hanging on to even the $5 or $10 that BVA often received from them in the past. Those donations have turned to zeros, while the previous $50 donations have turned to $25 or $10. The change we need to make in fundraising is to become more competitive when it comes to gaining favor with funding sources. This applies to corporate sources as well as funds that can come from grants. Our staff, therefore, is tasked with doing more at that level of fundraising to try to bring the organization up to a point where we are not facing deficits. It has been reported that there are 1.2 million blind and low-vision veterans in this country. Our membership is hovering around 6,000. That means that there are great opportunities ahead to grow the organization if we can determine how to attract even a tiny segment of that 1.2 million. The primary reason for attracting more members is not so that we will have more money, but so that we have more voices speaking up on behalf of the organization and its members, whether it is before Congress or in presenting ourselves to prospective donors. What we look like in terms of numbers has a lot to say about who we are as an organization of blind and low-vision veterans. That is just a realistic fact these days. One recent source of pride is the success of our somewhat new ambassador program. As a result of this initiative, our veterans are presenting themselves to VA medical centers and to the public as trained and educated advocates. I cannot encourage our members enough to think about joining the ambassador program. We need our members out there who know what it is like to be a blinded veteran, what it takes to help blinded veterans, and how to walk the walk, rather than just talk the talk. Our National Board of Directors, including district directors, are committed to empowering our membership through the decisions we make. Since we are responsible for the operation of the organization between conventions, as often as possible, we will be transparent in our dealings, public-facing in our documentation, and aware of the wishes of the membership as consistently as possible for the sake of the future of the organization. For us to be aware of those wishes and desires, we need the membership to engage with the district directors through whatever means is possible. I am not guaranteeing that everything that the membership may come up with or desire will become a reality. However, there is a point at which we, the board, cannot alone fully discern everything that is necessary for our future. We will be much stronger as a team when that team includes not only the board, but also the membership and the association's staff. My job, therefore, as the leader, is to bring all the components of our organization together in a more cohesive unit, to work for and attain common goals that will benefit the future of the Blinded Veterans Association. I look forward to serving you the next 2 years as national president, and I hope, by the end of my term, that I have added something to the organization that has made it stronger, from the membership all the way up to the board and staff.